As you know, if you've followed along here over the years, we can have some fun with the idea of the pipe dream trade, whether it's Cowboys or Mavericks or whatever. We can have some fun looking at these media proposals and shooting them down. And we can have some fun with creating our own proposals and maybe not shooting it down just yet, even though it seems pipe dreamy. Mike Fisher reporting on the Dallas Cowboys. We are in the fishbowl. There is the star. We will take you inside the Dallas Cowboys, the Star, and Raymond James Stadium when we get there in a couple days. So come along with us at cowboyssi.com and here on the Fish Report. Also hit the like button if you please. And if at the end of this program you find the information to be entertaining and presented in a unique fashion, then would you please subscribe to what we do here? It's absolutely free. The Cowboys should trade for DeAndre Hopkins. Where does this come from? Where did it start? Where are we going to take it? The Cardinals have put, reportedly, our friend Jordan Schultz, that's good enough for me, put DeAndre Hopkins up for trade, or will entertain trade ideas for DeAndre Hopkins, who's about as good as it gets at wide receiver. We really need to take this very seriously, need to explore why they're doing that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But after the Cowboys explored Odell Beckham Jr., well, I could easily make a case for why they should explore this. The Cowboys wanted Beckham at some level. They certainly wanted him to work out, and when he didn't, things kind of fell apart there. And Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, has not closed the door on this. In fact, I think the best way to phrase what the Cowboys might do with Beckham now is, show us that you're 100% healthy and that you're OBJ again, and we'll see you on March 8th. Problem. At that point, if Beckham actually achieves that, he is now going to once again view himself as a $20 million wide receiver, even though the bidding teams, Cowboys and the rest, will not have actually seen him play in a year and a half. So why not put another $20 million receiver on your radar? One who can play, where there's no question that if you believe in the idea of a $20 million receiver, and the Cowboys have, that's Amari Cooper. If you believe in that concept, then don't you go DeAndre Hopkins way over Odell Beckham Jr.? Hopkins, as it stands right now, theoretically, might even be a cheaper option than Beckham. Hopkins is due to make $19 million in 2023. Beckham wants more than that. I would toss in to this pot the possibility that the reason the Cardinals, who fired the coach, fired the general manager a year ago, signed Kyler Murray, everything's around Kyler Murray. I don't know, is there a personality problem there? Is it possible that Hopkins is already whispering he wants more money? They're both 30. So if it's Hopkins wants more money than his existing contract, he's got $34 million left on his 2 years. If the reason that they're ready to move on from him is because he or his representatives are starting to whisper, we're ready for $30 million a year. All right, now that's a different deal. But Hopkins at $20 million is a way better player, a way better value than Beckham is at $20 million. They're both 30. Hopkins' production remains at a high level. This year, I think he missed the first 6 games with that suspension. So he plays 9 games, I believe, has 64 catches in 9 games. Do the math on that. 717 yards. He has 3 touchdowns, and he didn't have Kyler Murray for a big chunk of that. So he didn't play for a big chunk at the beginning, didn't have Kyler Murray for a big chunk at the end. Again, kind of extrapolate those numbers. That's his 9-game number, is 64 receptions for 717 yards. I'm not very good at math, but that would have put him in range of getting almost 120 catches for 1,400 yards if he does that over the course of the year. And he has done those kind of things over the course of his career, certainly in Houston before they brainlessly gave him away. And now in Arizona, where the Cowboys would love to have, I would think, have the Cardinals brainlessly give him away again. I don't think that's the way it's going to go. But I got to make that phone call. The Dak Prescott-led Cowboys, we're going to the playoffs, baby. And CeeDee Lamb has demonstrated, I think he's answered the is he a number one receiver questions. The numbers say he has. I think the performance says he has. The playoffs will obviously put a cherry on top of that. And Cowboys Nation hopes that that's what it is, cherry, and not something gross. The Cowboys have also demonstrated they don't have a problem paying top dollar for a top guy if he's a heavy lifter who carries his weight and does the right things and gives all, as you know, if you follow this program or read cowboyssi.com, that's why Amari Cooper isn't here. There's no evidence. There's been no evidence that DeAndre Hopkins would get those kind of reviews from inside this building. So does Hopkins try to work his way to a contender? That's what the quarterbacks are starting to do in the NFL right now. Can a wide receiver do it? Would Dallas part with the premium price it'll likely take to get it done? What would be that price? In addition to the dollars, conventional wisdom would say, well, you're going to have to give him a pick. Except, how bad do they want to divorce him? The one team that kind of lowered the floor down to the basement in regard to how affordably you can trade for a Pro Bowl receiver, well, that would be the Cowboys when they gave Amari Cooper to Cleveland for a 5th-round pick. So I don't know what the price would be unless I call. The Cowboys made a highly publicized call on Odell. I say there's even more of a reason to make a call on DeAndre Hopkins with the Cowboys in Frisco. Fish out.